I'm Gloria Strode and welcome to Straightforward. Today we are visiting with our awesome friend Diane Pope from the Autism Hope Center. It's that time for us to have this visit, and you stay so busy. And I always feel so guilty because every year I feel like I've not done enough to help you because there's so much work to be done. And you really need probably about 50 volunteers. You really do. I've seen you come to events and your vehicle is loaded down and you're fully dressed for the event and you're still unpacking and bringing things in. And so we got to put some time into getting you some more help over the next few months before we get to the big annual gala. But our visit today is because we're in the middle of autism awareness. And we cannot educate the community enough on this. In addition to our first responders, a lot of our new educators have not been exposed to a lot of the things that you learned becoming a subject matter expert because you were a mother. Right. So what you got going on for autism awareness?
So first of all, thank you so much for doing this. I mean, we really appreciate your support. You're just great. You're great.
Well, thank you. But, it's important because I do believe all the children are our children. And by credentials, that's what my other life was, a social worker. And for the people that don't understand that all the children are our children, because we have to live in the same world together.
Right.
And anything that a child or a young adult needs in order to live a good, safe, and happy life, everyone should be for that. I just don't understand that part, but that's another conversation for another day. Probably when we have wine or something, we'll talk about that. So we're having the 9th annual Autism Resource Fair.
Yes.
Okay.
In Autism Awareness Month. And, really, I first got involved with this in 2009.
Okay.
And so a lot of progress has been made. I mean, I have to say that. So it's not really so much about awareness anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's more about acceptance.
Acceptance. Okay.
And that still needs some work. It really does.
Do you think it's because people really don't understand?
Yeah.
And we know that the spectrum is very broad because there's a TV show, I think, called The Good Doctor.
Yeah.
And he's on the spectrum and he's brilliant.
Yeah.
And so I think people get it confused with what they're looking at. Because you got very high functioning, like your son's a college student, and then you have some that might
need a lot of support.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I think that's sort of, one of the reasons that people do get confused. Because, first of all, most people, even now, think that autism is like the Rain Man.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, and that's a movie.
Yeah.
For the young people that might not be aware.
Well,
right.
And I think a couple of years ago they showed it at the library in celebration of Autism Awareness Month. I was horrified.
I know, right?
But anyway, and so it's just really a lack of understanding, a lack of education.
Mm-hmm.
And over the years, when my son was young and I was trying to get him diagnosed in the 90s, no one even really knew what it was.
Right. And you kept fighting battles at every level.
Right. And
here, even at Auburn University,
yes.
And they kept saying, no, he's brilliant.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And they didn't understand the behaviors. But thinking back on it, it was the special ed department that was actually doing the testing.
Mm-hmm.
Once we could get turned around and the Department of Psychology was looking at him over an extended period, then it was finally figured out.
Okay.
And now that's who does it, psychologists.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So it's not the Department of Special Ed, even in our school systems.
Right.
It's the psychologists, the school psychologists or therapists.
No, not the school psychologists.
Oh, you have to they don't have them.
They don't have the qualifications.
Really?
You have to have special qualifications for the tests that they do.
Okay, to administer the
Yes.
tests. Okay.
And so the other thing is there's a big difference, and a lot of parents call me and they don't understand this. There's a big difference between an educational diagnosis of autism
Mm-hmm.
and a psychological.
See, every time I sit with you, Now, we've been doing this together for years. I was not aware that there is an educational diagnosis and then a psychological diagnosis.
Well, and that's why sometimes the school will say, well, okay, your kid's got autism, that's fine, but they don't qualify for an IEP.
Okay, and the IEP is the individual educational plan for the child, for those that might not be familiar.
Yeah.
So, what is the difference? Because, see, I didn't realize we had two different diagnoses.
Well, of course, some of it has to do with money.
Okay, money. Money, okay, yes, we live in America, probably does.
Let's not provide services that's going to cost us if we don't have to.
Okay.
Not pointing any fingers.
I follow you, yes.
So what the schools tend to say is, well, their autism doesn't affect them educationally.
Ah, okay.
So it's behavioral.
Okay. And then that way we don't have to do a lot of the wraparound and resources.
Right.
Ah, see, I learned something.
Right.
Okay. And so that's why doing this show with you is so important, because a lot of the new mothers, you know, I had the chance to sit with some of people that you know, some of your friends from the Down syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned, and I said to you on social media, I didn't know there were 3 types.
Right.
You know, and I know with the work that I did in the past with kids, I didn't know that there were 3 types. So now today, with the Down syndrome, today you're telling me we have 2 different diagnoses, the educational and then the psychological for the children on the spectrum or the young adults on the spectrum.
Right.
Wow. And so you learned by your son, Gary.
Yeah.
Because he was great at some things, but then his social skills.
Well, and really, that is a big part of it, is uneven skills.
Really?
Yeah, you know, sometimes they'll be great at something and really bad at this over here.
Uh-huh.
And that's what you've got to work on.
Okay.
But the school, and this is what happened to my son Garrett, they want to concentrate on the stuff they're good at.
Exactly. Right. Where he was brilliant, like that doctor on TV, but then he was not processing in some other areas socially,
right,
where he really should have been processing this.
And even today in college, hopefully graduating next month.
How amazing is that?
Oh man!
We got a driver's license now. We're getting a college degree. I love that.
So anyway, I lost my train of thought.
Oh, he's going to graduate, right?
He still, to this day, if he has to take an exam that has a lot of multiple choice questions,
right,
and the answers are very similar,
right,
he can't
process it.
He can't tell the difference.
They
all look good. You know,
okay.
It's like, or one might be, but he struggles with it to this day.
Okay. Well, what we're going to do is go to our first break to our sponsor, and we'll be right back. We'll be right back after word from some of our sponsors. Straightforward is brought to you by State Senator Ed Harbison, serving the citizens of Georgia's 15th Senatorial District and on the front lines for veterans every day. Progressive Funeral Home, family owned and operated since 1952. The George Ford legacy of high standards continues today in the compassionate and professional services provided, a touch of dignity for those who care. Progressive Funeral Home, 4235 St. Mary's Road, trusted by generations. Whole Patient Healthcare. Dr. Jada Rimes-Bacote is board certified in family medicine. She believes the best patient care includes practical, individualized lifestyle changes. Located at 1338 13th Avenue, Columbus, 706-641-2080, or visit wholepatienthealthcare.com. And welcome back to Straightforward. I'm enjoying this great visit with my friend Diane Pope here at the Autism Hope Center, and you are just amazing. Not just as an advocate for those with disabilities, because I know you serve on the Mayor's Commission and you work with so many groups, but just as a mother, to have Gary, and we always laughed about getting the driver's license, and you survived that.
Barely.
Yeah, but you did. And then now we're going to get this college degree. But you never gave up, regardless of what they were telling you. And like you shared before we went to the break, they always wanted to focus on the things that they were really had mastered, they were really good at, was really easy. And as a mom, you knew he was missing something over here, and you wanted him well-rounded. And so you just stayed in that battle. And now we're going to get a degree. And what are we getting a degree in?
Environmental science with a minor in biology.
A minor in biology. Oh my goodness.
So, and he wants to work with the Army Corps of Engineers.
I think he'd be wonderful with that.
Because he's interested in water and sewage.
No, and we need some help with all of that. Because every time it rains, believe it or not, you can see where everything is backing up, and a lot of the major cities, you know, and everything is flooding. And so that is a very good career. Yes.
Well, he changed his major 3 or 4 times. I can't remember how.
Well, I hate to tell you, but those not on the spectrum, they do it all the time. Parents will really be surprised, you know, because a lot of them leave home and live in a dorm. They're not mature enough in what they thought they liked in high school. Some of them get to almost the junior year and change the major. So he can get a pass on that.
Money on those classes is just gone.
Right. So you have to, you know, go back and get whatever the other courses are. Okay, so that's really good. So do you have ideas? Are we going to be looking at the city or a private company, or have you even thought about in terms of his career placement? Is he going to do an internship?
He wanted to do an internship, but I guess the city didn't offer it this year or last year. COVID, money, I don't know. But so I guess they weren't working with CSU.
Okay.
But anyway, not that in that field. But I mean, in the meantime, he's still got his own business. He's fixes computers and Xbox, and he's also become a septic engineer.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
So for the people that live all on that acreage, all of those private estates, as I like to say, out in the rural communities, he knows how to make all of that work.
He's taken 2 or 3 of the exams, and he's passed all of them, and he's just got 1 more to go.
Okay, so well, he's going to be an entrepreneur. Maybe I can get a job as his receptionist.
Well, but that's how, and that's what people don't understand about kids on the spectrum. They just sort of carry on thinking, and they don't let themselves get sort of bogged down by, oh, well, that didn't work. It's
right. They'll move to the next thing.
What else?
Right.
What else do I like? What do I want to do? And
so they are not restricted.
Some are.
Some are. Yeah. Okay. So, but he's just looking above and beyond, and whatever that opportunity is. So he's fixing computers, the iPads, the games, the phones, all that stuff.
Whatever. He doesn't do so much of some of that anymore because the parts are difficult to get.
Okay.
But
he knew how to do it.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. He went to the tech to learn that kind of stuff.
Bless your heart. You've been really just...
We've been everywhere.
I know, but that's okay. Because you're helping him to do what? Be this happy, successful person in his place in this world. That is what we need, the community, to get on board. And this is a lot of what you are inviting people. They can learn more at the resource fair.
The resource fair everything is autism related. So it's the only resource fair really that families can get to find out whatever information they need. And they can talk face to face with the providers and see if it's the sort of thing that will fit their child.
Okay.
And we have games and stuff like that.
Okay, so there'll be activities and in addition to resource experts that can help, especially a lot of the young couples.
Yes.
Being a parent as a young person is already overwhelming. Even if you think you know the answers, you really don't, because all of us are kind of learning as we go. Even when you become a grandparent, you're still kind of learning as you go. And so by this, they can come, they can speak to parents like yourself, but also some of the experts. What I always like what you do is tell people how to find some financial support. Because there's a lot of support for, not a lot, but often people can find support for what the community understands.
Right.
If they have in a wheelchair or a kid at school or You follow what I'm saying? It's like, okay, well, it has to be wheelchair accessible. This is not that simple, is what I'm saying. Which, that's not simple, but people know you have to have the building prepared for those that have disabilities, the wheelchair, the bathroom, the sinks, that kind of thing.
Right.
This thing is kind of out there.
Well, because each child is different, plus that diagnosis doesn't really come with instructions. So, you know.
So each child is like starting at ground zero. Wow.
So, and I get a lot of calls, you know, needing help.
Right.
Trying to find, first of all, a diagnosis, and then providers, and you have to match the age of the child with the type of insurance that they have, depending on who they can go to. It's
the age of the child. So
yeah. Some providers will only take them up to this age.
Really?
Or that age. Yeah.
And then if they age out of this group, then they have to find the next
Somebody
group.
else. Yeah.
That is just crazy to me.
And the older they get, the more difficult it is.
So as they get older, for example, with Gary, of course he's making his own money, but a lot of those on the spectrum don't have as many skills.
Right.
And what you shared with me on a visit before is a lot of them, as they get older, they're just turning to sitting on the couch watching TV.
Yeah.
And that's not what we want.
No.
We want everybody to have a fulfilled, happy, productive life, whatever their gift. Because I believe we all have gifts and talents.
Yes, we do. And people on the spectrum have lots of gifts that are often overlooked. Sometimes they are better than anybody else.
Oh, well,
like that one.
We learned that at the gala when the gentleman, you gave him the award from countries, and he had a lot of employees. And I heard him say, if you have 10, I'll take them.
Yeah.
Because I don't have to find them. Yeah. They're going to do their task. They're not hiding on their phone. Right. I heard everything that he said, and I was so impressed with him. So what we're going to do before we go further in the conversation, we're going to go to our break to our sponsors, and we'll be right back. We'll be right back after word from some of our sponsors. David Benefield at the historic Highland Hall. Florist extraordinaire, making dreams come true for all occasions. Visit David and his team today at 1504 17th Street or call 706-324-4881, where happiness blooms. The Columbus Memory Center, 7196 North Lake Drive, Suite A, Columbus. Dr. Jonathan Liss is a board-certified neurologist and sleep specialist committed to battling Alzheimer's by preserving independence, offering you the opportunity to get your memory number for free, the only vital sign for brain health. Call today at 706-327-4000 or visit columbusmemorycenter.com. Barbara's Cleaning Service, a 5-star commercial service with satisfied customers in Georgia and South Carolina, built on the principle that every detail matters. Barbara's Cleaning Service, a new season building a family legacy. And welcome back to Straightforward. I'm enjoying this wonderful visit always with my awesome friend Diane Pope here at the Autism Hope Center. And I really want the community to please get involved with supporting the Autism Hope Center. They have one annual fundraiser. These are not paid people. They are just working with grace and mercy and love in their hearts. And you've been doing this for so long. And no, really. And it's just to just see you every year just doing all these things, trying to help other families, because you're getting ready to get a college degree, you and Gary. He's driving a car, but you continue to serve, and I've seen it up close and personal, and I can see all the joy at the gala. And before we went to the break, we were talking about the young man who's the manager at one of the countries north, and he received an award, and he was saying that he would take 10 because they do their task, they're very committed, they want to be at work. And you were sharing that in most cities, it's run through the health organizations.
Project Search. He was talking about the ones that come from Project
Search, which is Carla
with TSIS.
With TSIS. Right. And so, but here it's done a little differently than in some places nationwide. So we're just proud of Carla and the work she's doing at Project Search. Absolutely. But we can grow. Anybody else want to do something different to help expand? Because we were saying before we went to the break that as they get older, a lot of the children or the young adults on the spectrum end up at home just sitting on the sofa. Watching TV, and they have gifts.
Yes, they do. A lot of gifts.
Right.
And actually, that's something that the Hope Center would like to, moving forward, would like to do, be more involved in getting them jobs and helping to support them through that job.
Right.
Because the vocational rehabilitation services, they only work with them for like 3 months.
Really?
And often, guys on the spectrum, they need longer. They need support longer. And so we're sort of really looking to see if we can fit into that big gap.
Right, where you can find them on-the-job training, work experience for an extended period of time. I know in the old days, I first started my career with the CETA program, and they gave skills training and on-the-job training and all of that. So maybe that's something. Once we get some more of these wonderful, brilliant, talented young people that can come on board, serve on the board with you, grant writers and things like that. It's a lot of those skills are needed because this is done by donations once a year, and Diane's not a billionaire. She's just a dedicated mom. So I want people to know that. They might think you're this wealthy woman. It's just not that. It's because you're for the mission. This is not something you did to get your name in lights. You just came to this assignment being a mother trying to help your child, and consequently you have helped others over the years. So share with our audience. I don't want us to run out of time. When the resource fair, and also all of your contact information. If people can't join the board, they can always send you a check.
And I need a grant writer.
And we definitely need a grant writer, and we can't pay you. You will do it for grace and mercy. Okay.
So we're doing the 9th annual Autism Resource Fair and Fun Day on Saturday, the 27th of April, and it's 10 till 1, and it's outside the Student Center at Cascade Hills Church. So we'll have a variety of resources: home and community services, early intervention, therapy centers, assistive technology, transition adult services, educational services, ABA providers, and many more.
What is ABA?
Applied behavior analysis. That is the most proven therapy for people with autism.
Okay, applied behavior analysis, and that you will have providers there on site at Cascade. And again, we want to commend Cascade. Every gala I've attended, one of the pastors, they've been there. They seem so supportive. You have a lot of activities going that they support. Your Halloween fall festival thing, it's usually done there.
They do it.
People are able to come there, the kids on the spectrum, and enjoy. And then you have another event where it's a coffee date.
It's now the first and third Tuesday of every month, but here at the office. Starts at 10 o'clock, and it's just parents getting together, sharing information, and us helping with whatever they need.
And it's free.
It's free.
And so that's every what now?
First and third Tuesday.
Every first, because you're so from England. Every first and third Tuesday of the month here at the Autism Hope Center. And they can also find you on social media. You have Facebook. What is your email?
Autism Hope Center, LLP, for Peter, @gmail.com.
Okay.
And you can call me 706-604-6333 if you need help.
Okay. And so we'll make sure, that we help share that information. And again, the resource fair and the fun day, because we're going to have games there and activities. So if the parents want to come and be able to talk to the service providers, you're going to have activities that will keep the kids engaged.
And we'll have Papa John's pizza and some.
Okay, so we're going to have food. Oh yeah, we're going to have food. So this is a good thing. No, you can have lunch. get the information you need. The children will be well entertained, and
And this is a free event.
And
so
it's
everything
free.
is free.
Everything is free and no cost.
Yes.
I want to just send out another request. We please, young parents, young people, young educators, even if you're working on your PhD, this will be a great one for someone trying to get an advanced degree. I always want to give people an assignment. But you can come and talk to Diane, become a member of the Autism Hope Center board, and then you will be able to write grants and get exposure to all of this knowledge that she has acquired over the years. You'll be able to reach your big goal with getting whatever that next degree is, as well as helping families and children reach their best and highest goal. I mean, that's rewarding in itself, and I always tell the young people, it's not always about the dollar you get today. It's the delayed dollar that sometimes is better.
Right.
Right.
And the feeling you get here.
Exactly, because you're changing lives,
Yes.
and
Exactly.
we want everybody to live their best life. So if they want to send you a check, where should they send that to?
Post Office Box 6028, Columbus, Georgia 31917.
Post Office Box what?
6028.
Okay, Columbus, Georgia, 31.
31917.
Okay, so we taking checks year long, not just when it's the celebration. Well, I thank you so much. I wish I could write you a big check, but I'll keep doing whatever little part I can because this is very important work, and we thank you for all that you do.
We thank you
All right.
for all your help and support.
This has been Straightforward. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. Until next time, be blessed.
What up, world? What's up, Columbus? Be sure to tune in every Sunday, Straightforward with Gloria Strode, right here on NBC 38.